The race to 5G is on, and the battle for talent is getting fierce. Welcome to 5G Talent Talk with Carrie Charles, a podcast dedicated to helping you face the future workforce head on. Navigate this challenging talent landscape with innovative strategies to attract, retain, and engage people in this new world of work. Only here on 5G Talent Talk with Carrie Charles, CEO of Broadstaff Talent Solutions.
Hello and welcome to 5G Talent Talk. I am Carrie Charles and I'm so excited to have you with me today. And I am even more excited to have the CEO and founder of M-Communications with me today, Graham Ellison. Graham, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, I appreciate you having me. Oh, most definitely.
So if you haven't noticed, Graham and I are both wearing M-Comm shirts. And I was just lucky enough to get a gift in the mail that I absolutely adore this shirt. And not only that, but I really adore the company M-Comm. We staff for you, Graham, and I've known you for a long, long time. I've talked to you just endless conversations about M-Comm. And, I'm really excited today to tell the world about your company, your culture, what you do, because it is something very, very special. But first, I want to hear about your journey and what prompted you to create M-Comm and how did you get to where you are today?
Well, I appreciate that. And so it's been a fun journey. In the last few years, you and I conversing as our companies have kind of, moved forward. But my background is I'm one of an old 1980s 20-year-old, had to know what I was going to do. So I started a company in 1989, and it was an IT company. And so my background has always been, let's go do something. So in 2011, after 23 years in the IT space, I just said, okay, it's time for a change. Let's, there didn't seem to be any mystery left. And for me, I was always taught, where there's mystery, there's margin. So let's go do something different. So I had an opportunity to step away from that business, and my partner in this business, his background's real estate, mine's technology. So let's do something. It's great. Well, let's start another company. And I always felt like that this wireless world, we were 3G moving to 4G at that time. I said, I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know anybody in the industry. I don't know what we're going to do, but seems like the industry's got a pretty good tail on it for opportunity. Let's figure out how we can build a business out of it. And so that's kind of how we started. It's it had no clue where it was going to go. It didn't really know how to get there, but we spent the first couple of years, muddling our way through and found an opportunity in 2013 and took it and have ridden it.
Well, you sure did choose the right industry at the right time. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us about M-Comm. What do you do and who are your customers?
So we're an integration company. We're an in-building wireless. We don't climb towers. We don't do those types of things. At one point in my career, we did a lot of tower work. So I used to climb a lot of towers, and we did, but in the previous company. But in this company, I tell people, I always get asked, are you climbing poles still? No, we're building horizontal, not vertical anymore. So that makes it fun. So we do in-building wireless. So we started out as a subcontractor to the primes in our market in the Southeast, and we're able to earn our way and work our way through really allowing those guys to shine and doing a good job for them, which opened up opportunities for us to step up and become a prime. So our customers now aren't the primes, our customers are the carriers, because we are a prime. We were given the opportunity in 2016 to take that role on. And at that point I figured, do we either stay in the shallow end or we get in the deep end, see if we can swim. And so, we've been blessed with lots of opportunity and talented people and a mindset of quality and caring for what we do. And so so our customers are the carriers, our 3PO customer base is continuing to grow as you've seen in our needs and our work. And, we've come from one guy and an idea to, I think, I heard this morning we were at 70, at lunch we were at 75. So employees. So it's it's a rapid ascent right now. So it's a lot of fun.
Congratulations. That's so exciting to hear. And I know we're going to hear a lot more about your vision today for growth. Let's talk about what makes you different, because I know that there's quite a few companies out there in building wireless, and there's a secret sauce that you have. So what is that secret sauce?
It's really a few things. So having the opportunity to work in the space prior to becoming a prime and seeing how it worked. We always had the opportunity, line of thought that said, if we have an opportunity to get into the space and have a seat at the table, we're going to do things a little different. We do a lot of, we bring a lot of central office, a lot of cable. We bring a lot of data center skill sets into this space, which are different. A lot of companies have brought tower skill sets into the M building, which is technically a lot of the same stuff, but build wise is completely different. So in this, if you've ever been into a data center or central office, they're incredibly clean. Everything is detailed to a T. And if anybody's ever worked for AT&T, they know that their standards are just stringent for that kind of stuff. So our secret sauce is that we build for the guy to come in behind us so that he can service it, so that he can take care of it, and caring about what we do, and building processes that drive consistency across all of our builds. Working for other folks, what we noticed was if they had 5 different construction managers in the field, there were 5 different ways they built things. We've brought in some skill sets on the front end to develop installation packages that create a consistency across all of our builds. And the key to that is now just finding the right people to manage that and take pride in what they do and build it.
Graham, you mentioned that you've done over 300 projects for one particular carrier and never missed an on-air deadline.
That's right. That's right. So it's not easy. You get those last minute crunches where it's like, holy mackerel, how are we going to do this? And it happens. It's commonplace in this business because there's so many things outside of our control. But our job is to reduce the noise for our customer, to make sure we, as best we can, identify problems that we see and bring solutions to those problems, not just drop them off at their doorstep. They've got enough on their plates as is. So it's, that's caring about what you do, caring about, the legacy you leave. You're only as good as the last project you did.
You are so true. So right. So right. The other thing that I've heard you say before is that another secret is OCD.
Oh, let me tell you, if you go to our website, when you go to our website, you'll see I3CQ. That's just an acronym for OCD. So it is. It is exactly that quality. That OCD drives quality, and if you have to strive to be the best that you can be. And our team is wonderful about that. They're gracious, they're graceful, and they care about what they do.
Yes, I would say that you and the entire team at M-Comm is obsessed with quality and attention to detail. So I think that that's definitely what sets you apart, for sure.
Absolutely.
What would you say are some trends in building wireless? What is the future of DAS? Is there going to be something that's going to come along and replace it, a new technology, a new model? What do you see as the future?
Interestingly enough, we had this conversation probably 3 years ago when C-RAN hit the market. Now it's all going to be C-RAN. It's going to displace the DAS. They're going to take the radios and move them out to the edge. Well, that hasn't necessarily happened the way that was projected. And I don't think DAS is going anywhere. I think DAS is only going to expand. Now you've got all the existing bands, all the spectrum. Now they're bringing in CBRS, they're bringing in C-band, they're bringing in all these other capabilities and technologies. So I think M building is only going to continue to expand based on the spectrum growth that we need to see, quite honestly. to support the demand that these networks are seeing. So I think the future is bright. I think, CBRS is going to open a lot of opportunity in the space. I think C-band is going to open a lot of opportunity for the carriers to expand their footprints and their capability and their capacity. C-RAN is a growing piece of business. We've launched a C-RAN division that's focused on that to really understand where that market's at. How do we participate in it? What's that look like? So we're excited about that. The technology is going to continue to evolve. Our business people, we have been inundated by folks that want in this space, but they want to get into it from an operator perspective and things like that. And we've just come to terms that we are really good at what we do. We're not a 3PO. We're not an operator. We want to stay focused in the world that we're in, and all of these companies need somebody to execute their vision, and that's what we're good at. And so the technologies that are evolving, stadiums are a great example. We'll rip and rebuild a stadium, and 5 years later, guess what? We're going to do it again. It's a recurring business, just not in a traditional sense.
No, I get it. Speaking of rip and rebuilds, how many of your projects would you say are rip and rebuilds versus new builds right now?
I'd say you've got rip and rebuilds, which probably represent about 40% of our workload. And then new builds or carrier adds are probably 60%. Got it.
Yeah. And what types of projects do you seek out? What are you really good at?
We have really found a niche in high capacity builds, stadiums, arenas, high rises, but we also do single carrier, single radio ads in stores, MVNO builds. So we don't seek these. Working for the carriers is unique because we own turf. So that's a nice capability and a nice opportunity because we're exposed to everything. From the very small to the very large. We treat them all the same. And that's the key is treating the MVNO install just like you do the stadium install or the corporate office install. So it's we work across the board, not the least bit hesitant to take on the smallest one as much as the largest one. And the largest ones have given us a lot of opportunity to scale.
Consistency. That's what comes to my mind.
100%. If you walk into a small project or large project, you're going to know who did it after we've been there.
I remember we were sitting at lunch in what was that in was it in Las Vegas or?
It wasn't. I think it was in Vegas.
Building wireless conference, and I remember you showed me pictures of your work and the DAS systems that you had built, and I don't know, it just, to me, the only word I could think of was just perfect. I mean, it was just perfect. And I thought, oh my gosh, it just looked like the people who were building it really cared and took pride in their work. Is that true?
That is 100% true. You can't do it without that. And so, it's interesting. I had an executive come through one of our builds from one of the carriers, and he walked into this room and he walked around, and I heard him. He said, if I didn't know any better, I would think I was in a central office. And you know what? There she goes. That's a home run for me. We'll take that any day of the week because that's what we want. And his team were so proud. And you know what? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
It is. So Graham, obviously there's some challenges in what you're doing. And what would you say are your biggest challenges with growing a wireless infrastructure company as a leader and a
founder? Our challenges have been a couple of things. It's taking on bigger projects, taking on more work and expanding our footprint. And how do you do that and not sacrifice what got you there? So, that's a challenge. That's the challenge. And it's a part of finding the right people. Number one is finding the right people to build the organization around. I'm just one person. And the key is consistently finding the right mindset and the right personality to get what we do. And then I say it all the time. I always hire for the who, not the what. I can teach the what, but you can't necessarily teach the who. And so it's our challenges are that's our challenge, and is with anybody.
And that is a big challenge for many leaders right now is, the work is out there, but the people are not to do the work.
That's right. That's right.
So that's the tough part. And what I love about what you do, Graham, is your leadership, you bring in people, like you said, that are the who and teach the what. So you're actually bringing in fresh talent and training them. But let me ask you this. What do you look for when hiring?
It's a good question. We consider ourselves a family. So I'm looking for someone, number one, who has foundationally just is a humble person, has a lot of humility, and that can work in an environment that is supportive of other people. Our job as leaders and employees, as from a technician in the field to my position, is to support the people around us. I preach that in this organization is you know what? There's a path forward for everybody in this company. The way you do that is support the guy in front of you and the guy behind you. Now you've got to underpin the guy in front of you, and you got to knock down, roadblocks for the guy behind you. So that's what we do. And that's, the one word that I share with our organization is grace. Grace is something we need to extend. And if I've got a person that understands that, I can teach them what we do. We can teach them what we do.
Right. That's one of my favorite words is grace.
Mine too.
Love it. Love it. So something also very special about M-Comm is your culture, your company culture. And you've touched on it just a bit, but let's go into that just a little bit deeper. What is the M-Comm culture? And the other piece of this question is, how do you maintain a consistent culture throughout the growth?
It's our culture is very simple. It's family. We really, really care about our people, our employees, and we show that from the top down. Every organization has structure. They have systems. They have benefits. They have all these things. But you know what? Picking the phone up and calling a guy in the field and just asking about how his family's doing, and that's how we maintain it. That's number one. That's our culture is of caring. It's I think there's somewhere we've talked about how we structured the company. Having turfs creates markets for us. We're from Virginia to South Florida to Texas now, and what we try to do is this business is a road warrior business. It's a vagabond's lifestyle traditionally. So what we try to do is create structure and decentralization in the business. The way we've done that and this drives the culture, is to keep people closer to home. If they're in a market and they're working, guess what? They're not 5 states away. They may be just a couple hours away. Mm-hmm. So just things that we can do to support our people and their families, and to as best we can create balance, because you got to have that. That's something that is so overlooked in this day and time. So I want a culture, and I want a organization that people are excited to be here about. And I want them, because I know talent is so hard and everybody's getting phone calls. Hey, you want to come? You want to talk? And I can tell you, our people get calls all the time. And I'm so grateful for the fact that we have built an organization and a culture that puts them in a position to say, you know what, I'm not interested. I'm happy where I'm at. And that's so many, success can be defined in so many ways. It's not always money. And that to me is huge.
Graham, you told me, I believe one time, not one time, but multiple times, you pick up the phone and you just call your people, the CEO of the company.
The whole time.
Calls people and just says, hey, how are you? How's your family?
Yep.
And on the other end, they're like, oh my gosh, wow, Graham's calling me.
It's interesting about that, because I've worked for myself since I was 20. titles have been one of the things that understand the value of a title, but I've just never been big on titles. And because I think they throw up walls. And it's funny because I have a lot of conversations about what if we just did away with titles? What would we do? How could that benefit the social connection in the company? And I understand that the titles bring a sense of value, sense of success, sense of achievement, and so I can appreciate that. But they also create stigmas, and that's the downside for me. So I don't care about a title. I'm the chief encouragement officer. That's what CEO means.
I love that.
So, my job is to just support and undergird this organization and provide some vision and guidance as to how we get to the next step. We've got an amazing team of executors in this business, and from our president all the way down.
Yes, you do. I mean, your leadership team is incredible. The other thing I think you do well is you provide an amazing space for your contingent labor force, right? Your contractors.
Yep.
And that they feel very much part of the team and they're very committed to you. How do you pull that off? I know that's a tough one for most companies.
Well, it's pretty easy because we were a contract customer. We were subcontractors. How we started. So we always knew how we were treated, and we weren't treated badly, but we weren't given any type of direction really as far as what's coming, when's it coming, how's it going to pay, when can I expect it. Everybody needs to be able to plan. These last minute calls, hey, can you have 10 guys there tomorrow? That's tough, and that happens a lot. So I've had a big push internally to make sure that we treat our contractors with the utmost respect, and we give them enough, as best we can, give them enough forward-looking direction so they can plan and have resources available. So they know where their next project's going to be. They know how they're going to move their people around. So important. In this business, we can't do it without we can't do it without contractors. And so, they're an extension of us. And you know what? When they're on a project, they're us. It doesn't matter who writes their checks. They're us.
They wear an M-Comm shirt, just like
that's right. They absolutely do. Absolutely, with pride.
Right. Exactly. That's you got that right. The training and development also is something that you do well, and I think that that's an area where in this industry, as we groom people and bring new people into the industry, that I think that we can do better. Tell me, what is your training and development like? Do you have a formal training program, mentorship? How does that work at M-Comm?
It's interesting you say that. We are in the process of developing some internal training. That's a big topic of conversation internally. But here's the way we do it. A lot of this work is just experience-based. A lot of these builds, how many guys know how to actually sew cable? That's a skill it's a lost art almost. And we've got some construction managers that have been in the business, have been building sites 20 and 30 years. And not necessarily in building wireless sites, but central office, medsos, data centers. They have a skill set that they bring to this. So what we've done is we've paired our next generation with these guys and put them under their tutelage. That's their job is to mentor these young bucks and teach them all they can. And then we tell these young guys, and when we hire these young guys, we hire them, the guys that we feel like are going to get it. They want to, you got an opportunity. Sponge all you can off of these guys because they're not, they're moving toward the end of their careers. There's opportunity right here. So our lots of conversation in this organization about our next generation of leaders and all the way up the chain. So, and we're putting people with people. We're creating, apprenticeships with people. We're looking at internships. We're doing lots of different things, working with the OEMs to train. And what we're doing is we're taking skill sets and we're not just having them bottled up in one location. What we're doing and one person or one or two people. We're taking that person with that skill set. It's taking integration capability on a BTS side. We're pushing that out to the edge. We're training our guys in the field to do that. So now I'm not having to fly people all over the country. It's the guys building the sites will have that capability to do it when they're building it. And it's going to give them more pride in what they do. It's going to give them the ability to see that they're expanding their knowledge, and it makes them more valuable up the chain. And we want them to do the same thing to the guy behind them. So that's our effort. That's our vision for it, at least.
Well, let's keep talking about vision, because I'd like to know, what is your vision for M-Comm? The next year, the next 5 years? What are you thinking?
It's funny. It's such a crazy world. Our vision is to expand. This year we're in Texas, and we're now in Texas, which is a big thing for us. We're going to, our plan for next year is to expand into more parts of the country. So we've got some geographic expansion, which we're really excited about, just to continue to take what we're doing. We're creating kind of a vacuum of opportunity through each project we do. And we're excited about that. And we tell potential customers, we just need one project. Give us one project, and I promise you won't be dissatisfied. So our vision is to grow our geographic footprint. Our vision is to expand our capability and skill sets to create some end-to-end services, and to continue to entrench into the carriers that we support and into the 3POs, and in general, just continue to reduce the noise for our customer. If we do that, then we're good. Your repeat business is the best business ever. And that's what we strive for. So our vision is to grow, to continue to build this family. And I don't know where it's going to go. I didn't know where it was going to go 10 years ago. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And God's blessed us beyond measure. So what do I say? Our vision is to continue to grow people and give people an opportunity wherever it may be.
I love it. And, we are definitely going to help you grow here at Broadstaff and get more good people. And I think that's your key, really, is, taking on more projects and growing, and then having those good people come to you and developing them. And, you've got your heart in the right place, M-Comm, and, all the leadership, the entire team of M-Comm has its heart in the right place. And I think you're right. You just keep doing what you're doing. But most of all, Graham, you keep being who you're being. Right.
That's right.
That, if you stick to your values and you maintain that culture and you just continue that, then, people are going to be attracted to you, and you're going to get more business, and you're going to get more abundance, and you're going to continue to be blessed.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. Let's talk about the types of jobs that I know you're hiring right now, and I know you have open roles in different markets. And, there's probably people right now, especially after hearing all of this, like, I want to work for M-Comm right now. I know I do. I've already got the shirt on. So we're
already part of the team.
I know I already am, right? I'm definitely part of the team, 100%. What types of roles are you hiring for? What are you looking for? Any particular markets? Or, also, where can people go to learn more about or learn more about what you do, potential customers?
So we've got, we're launching Texas. Texas is a big market for us this year, and we're there. We've planted a flag, and we're hiring in Texas. I think we're hiring in most of our markets. So they're Tennessee, Kentucky, the Gulf states, the Mid-Atlantic, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. I think, we have, if they go to our website, which is www.mcommwireless.com, which is 2 M's on com. Everything is posted there. They'll see, if they're on LinkedIn and look me up, they'll find links to those job opportunities. And, we're excited. We're excited. Our website is a phenomenal place to go and learn about who we are, what we're doing. You kind of see, there's a group that says, there's a page that has pictures of everybody doing some goofy things. So that's kind of fun. So it kind of gives you some insight into who we are as people. So opportunities abound across our whole footprint, and it's going to continue to grow. We see a wonderful year lining up for us, and we're grateful for that. And we're just looking for the right kind of folks.
Graham, I am so excited to see where you're going to be in the future. And I am just honored and blessed to be a part of it. And I want to thank you for being on the show today. This is a pleasure. And I just wish you the best.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You deserve it.
I love our conversations. We always have a good conversation because, it's the challenges that present themselves are always fun. And,
I know. I love it when we call each other, we talk, and it's like, this is what's going on with me and you. And, that's what it's all about, though, Graham. It's about, relationships and people and just taking the time and caring and having those moments where you're just, you just bond and connect with people. And I think we're missing that now. We'll get back to it soon.
We need that. We need that back. You're 100% right. But you know what? This is a small community. It really is. And, but it's good to know that we have friends out there that we can undergird as well and support, as well as our people and our customers. So
got it. I know.
Thank you for all you do for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Graham, for being on the show.
Anytime. We'll okay. Take care.
Thank you for listening to another informative episode of 5G Talent Talk, brought to you by RCR Wireless News, Telecom Careers, and Broadstaff Talent Solutions. As we advance into the future, we promise to bring you the resources you need to navigate this ever-changing landscape of 5G to help you attract, retain, and engage people in this new world of work. To access the show notes or leave a review, visit broadstaffglobal.com. Until next time.